last week we were joking that Arizona probably counted votes written on a napkin.
Yeah,
remember that?
Turned it into like a little bit. I put a scratch piece of paper. You're like, yep, that'll count.
Right.
We were just kidding around.
Yeah.
And then, oh gosh, who sent the Brass Tacks? Pathead Brass Tacks sent me an article from 2021 from I think it was Seattle, Washington. Yeah, basically saying that, right? And
the headline actually says that.
Right. So
mail your vote on a napkin.
Yep.
Election officials in Washington State say that counts.
Okay, so I'm reading this article
gosh.
that Brass Tacks sent me.
Yeah.
And there is reference to a video clip of the Seattle voting board, right? And I'm like, I got to see this thing for myself. I mean, they had the quotes from the story, but I was like, if this thing, and I clicked on it and it had already been taken down. So I reached out to the reporter for Rebel News that posted the story, Katie Davis Court, and I said, do you happen to have this original video? This just is ridiculous. She goes, it's completely ridiculous, and yes, I still have it. So she sent it to me, and it's a 2-minute clip. Okay. And so what you're watching is they just had the election for mayor in Seattle.
This was back in 2021?
2021, and they're saying, okay, so what counts as a vote here? This is unbelievable.
And masking again.
Of course, yeah, 21, yeah.
This one would be for Seattle Mayor.
Okay, Seattle Mayor, here we go.
This voter did not send in a ballot.
Did not send in a ballot. The voter
was empty, but we did get
envelope was empty. We got this pamphlet sent to us from a voter.
Contest info at the top of the page, City of Seattle Mayor. If there had been no handwriting at all, we would have just called this superfluous materials and we wouldn't bring it.
Why are they sending the pamphlet in? We're not going to count that.
The fact that they put it looks like an L and a plus or a V and a plus made us want to bring this forward for you to take a look at it.
What? Pause that for a second. So what'd she just say there about the plus?
Yeah,
what does
so
the plus mean?
So she said, look, we got an envelope from a voter. There was
not a ballot.
There was no ballot in it. It was a pamphlet for this chick who ran for mayor. And if we had just gotten the pamphlet, we would have been like, oh, no, we're not counting this. But look at that V, or maybe it's an L with a plus sign there at the bottom.
God, jeez.
We are in hell. Like, it's over. America, the experiment's over. I mean, you got elections decided by check marks?
Seemingly bragging about it.
This is insane. They're showing you this. This would count as a vote, as an example.
I can't believe it.
Oh, it's
wow.
grotesque.
If they had circled Lorena's name, we would have counted it as
we would have circled it. If you circled her name, we would have counted that as well.
Let's see. So the question is this a vote
Unreal.
for Lorena? We want to look at write-ins in the wrong place. You can go to your voter intent manual on page 70.
Go to page 70 of your voter intent manual.
Really what you need are the office and the position number, if that's applicable, to call it a writing in the wrong place. For this instance, if we thought this was an indication that they meant to vote, then this would have everything we need.
Yeah, that's it.
Someone took a napkin.
So somebody writes on a napkin.
Wrote.
And
The office. Or the race.
The race.
And their selection.
The candidate.
That would be.
That would be enough, and we would count that as a vote.
We would count that as a vote, yes.
What? Are you kidding me?
You can kill this now, Kayla. You can kill this now.
Are you kidding me?
What do you say to that?
Goodbye to all of those council members. See ya. Go somewhere else. Ruin some other city or some other country, please. Move out of the United States of America.
So a big thank you to Katie Davis Court of Rebel News for having that insane video from 2 years ago.
It's so our flippancy about you could you just write it on a napkin and send it in. It's true in Seattle.
I swear.
You can write your vote.
There's no parody.
On a napkin and send it to them. They'll count it. I'm sure they wouldn't if you're voting for a Republican, but if you vote for a Democrat, they'd accept that.
There's no parody anymore. Pat.
No, there isn't. There really isn't.
Okay, so what you do is
Jeez.
You wait for the next election in Seattle. Not that they would ever have a desirable candidate running for mayor, but let's just flood the election center with napkins with that Republican or whoever's name on it. little check mark, put the office name.
Right.
I mean, this is
How do you even know
insanity.
where it came from? You just
Right.
because the letter is. Or do you have it written on the outside of the envelope? Is that what it is? And they just count that?
Because it was in the official envelope.
How many times could you vote that way? You're not even. They don't even know it's you. They don't know if you're an actual voter. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
That's unreal.
Brass tacks, I apologize for not even catching all of this tweet when you sent this yesterday or whenever it was. Remember when you were talking about voting on a napkin? Washington State said that was just fine in 2021. Just after that, our Secretary of State, Kim Wyman, the only Republican elected official in the state, was hired by the Biden administration to work on election security. I mean, you can't write this stuff.
Wow. Jeez.
You can't even make this up.
Man.
Boy, what a fun ride it's been, America.
Mm-hmm.
Good night.
Hasn't it been? Seriously, you can't survive this.
You can't.
If you don't stand up in Seattle, in Washington State, and say, no, that's not acceptable. I'm sorry, that's unacceptable in an American election. Maybe you could do that in Haiti. I don't know. Probably not even there. Are you kidding me?
Right. I'll make sure that I retweet Brass Tacks' article because I'm sure you're listening right now going, they've got to have something wrong. This is, sorry guys, I don't believe this. I just want to point this out, and I'm going to retweet this out at Keith Malinak. It's Como News, KOMO, right? Here's the headline. Mail your vote on a napkin? Election official in Washington State says that counts.
Incredible.
It's over, man.
Absolutely incredible. Jeez. So the panel was reviewing these ballots, as they said. Voting attempts were denied for a variety of reasons. One of the improper voting attempts shown was allegedly trying to vote for a Democrat mayoral candidate. In this attempt, it came in the form of an envelope that was missing a ballot.
This, yeah.
Well, but they counted it.
Yeah.
They said they didn't count this. They did. They said they did.
Oh yeah, the story is different than the.
Is this a different one?
The video, yeah. I think that story goes through, and I'll have to go back and look. I think that story goes through different examples of what does and doesn't count. I'll find that. Yeah. Is it saying that one didn't? Because I know for a fact a paper napkin would.
Regardless of what those marks may have meant, the attempt was a failure and the vote was not counted. Now, she said they did count it.
Yeah, that's what
she
the
said
audio
they did.
said.
So one of these is inaccurate. I don't know which.
Well, you gave us a little glimmer of hope there to save the Republic.
I mean, there's no way that should count. There's no way a napkin. I mean, I thought it was a joke. It's an actual event in this nation.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so that vote was not counted, but here's the quote. Here's the question from the panel. So, and this is the audio that was hard to hear there. So even if someone took a napkin and wrote the office, the race, and their selection, that would be enough? Quote, this is what the election official said. That would be enough, and we would count that as a vote. So why wouldn't that, honestly, in all honesty, that vote that they didn't count apparently then with the check, that seemed more legitimate than writing it on a napkin. Because at least you had the candidate's face and name and all this stuff on it.
Yeah.
This is insanity. Voter intent, Pat. It's all about voter intent. What did the voter
And
intend?
how do you know what the voter intended? You don't. You don't. That's why you throw it out. You throw it out because you don't know what they had in mind there. You can't read minds. You're not psychics. Wow. It's just too important to do that.
Okay, so remember now, Washington State, okay? Check mark on a pamphlet, apparently no good.
Mm-hmm.
Check mark
on a napkin?
On a napkin.
Fine. Is good. Is good. So there you go. If you live in Washington State, there's your guidelines. Wow. You know, I wonder what would happen if just a deluge of Republican votes came in that way on napkins. I wonder. Would they be counted?
Dude, this is an experiment. When's the next mayoral race in Seattle?